Welcome to Scott Williams Motorsport, episode 1. We've got loads to show you for the next few months.
I didn't know you were going to come to me then. Sorry, I just winding you up.
Welcome to Scott Williams Motorsport TV, episode 1. We've got loads to show you over the next few months.
Yeah, welcome everyone. We've had the cameras following us for the last 6 months or so. If you like rugby, rallying and cars, you're in the right place.
Yeah, check it out. Scott, here we are on a farm in the middle of West Wales. Why are we here? How did all this begin?
Growing up, always been a little bit of a petrol head, mainly into bikes when I was a kid. And then as you grow older, getting into more four-wheel stuff, cars, mad for cars. And I met my wife when I was 16, so I've been with her since then. And Barry, who's my brother-in-law, who works here and builds the cars. He's always had a Mark II Escort doing night events, single venue events. So following him, and then obviously I fell in love with the Escort. Sounds a bit dodgy that, but it's the cars. Yeah. Do I need to start that again, or is that all right? Or?
If you gave it a wash, it'd look a bit better.
I suppose so.
So, for those of you who don't know who Scott... No, of course they know who he is.
No, I know that, but...
Some people
Or me,
might not know.
and those of you who don't know who I am. Scott found me in a bush out the front of his house one day, and he brought me in, gave me a cup of tea, and now we're doing a YouTube show. No, that was in South Africa, but we won't talk about that.
It was on the beach. Found him on the beach.
And for those of you who don't know who Scott is, check this out.
I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way.
Scott Williams straightens up and goes straight through to Gareth Davis. Davis skips over. He's over the try line. It is try number 3. And they deserve all the celebrations and all the plaudits because the Scarlets have produced some outstanding rugby to win that trophy.
When you win things with your club, it's a little bit more special to you. They know the work. Ain't nowhere to hide. You don't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind. You know I be on the
Yeah, I think so. Just being a bit more
Don't forget, the most important thing, though, is to subscribe.
Hey guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button to get notified when we upload new content.
So, Scott, this isn't just a hobby, building Ford Escorts to rally?
No, this is something I'm really passionate about. I always had the love for it, and I want to get into after rugby.
So it's a proper family business.
Yeah, all the family, mad for rallying. My wife grew up with her dad rallying. Obviously Barry, yeah, lots of rallying. And then how we started the business up. Obviously I'm a professional rugby player, so that's kind of what I do every day. And in 2015, I injured my knee. I ruptured my anterior cruciate ligament.
I was playing for Wales in
2015 World Cup, yeah.
That injury, just going through the footage, do you know what happened there?
So most ACL injuries are non-contact, so normally high force. Obviously in that scenario I planted my leg and I just felt as if someone shot me in my knee, really. Just like a horrendous pain for about 30 seconds and then no pain at all. Yeah, and then obviously I had the scan and I'd done my ACL, which that was probably my first biggest injury. which why it kind of made me realise that it's a contact sport and it can come to an end any day through injury. So that's why I started the business up.
It must have been heartbreaking, because it was like it's the biggest tournament in the world.
Yeah, it was. We went on and won the game in England's home World Cup, because obviously I was absolutely chuffed that we'd won, but also knew that I was probably going to be on the sideline for a lengthy time. So a bit of mixed emotions after the game. It was quite a long-term injury, 6 or 7 months I was out for, and in that time Barry was building an historic spec Escort car, and obviously the realisation then, I was 25, of rugby's going to come to an end one day, and what I was going to do. So Barry finished the car and it was stunning, and we had then had a conversation that we could start a business up doing this, and that's where Stefan came in, who was in school with us. So we started off with just Stefan to start off with, fabricating, and then...
So you started out like, if we're going to build a car, we're going to build the best car.
That was the idea, yeah. We sat down and we said, right, how we could showcase the stuff that we do, because we felt that how can we put a marker on the Escort rallying world, and that's what we did. We decided to build the highest spec Escort you could, and then that kind of put us on the map.
Okay, so after the World Cup and your knee injury, you started the business up. It's established now, and in 21-22 you had another injury where you broke your arm.
As I was reaching for the try line, obviously the Cardiff boys were trying to stop me from scoring, and the prop landed on my arm and ended up fracturing my humerus. So I knew at the time that I did something, but tried to play on for a bit, but just couldn't lift my arm in the end.
Lift your arm, is it? You're asking for the ball and you realised that you couldn't actually lift your arm to catch it.
Yeah, I think that was the point where I thought I probably should come off, was when I couldn't catch the ball, but it wasn't what I expected, to be honest with you. I thought I'd injured something in my shoulder, but 130 kilogram prop landing on my arm would have...
Well, you won the game anyway,
right.
so...
Yeah. People always ask, when you're injured, what you do, but we still go into training every day. When you're injured, you still need to have physio, you need to do rehab, so it's still full on. It's not the case of, you have to have 2 months off work. We still have to go in every day.
The thing is about that injury, it's definitely a try. If you think it's a try, check this out. Leave in the comments yes or no. I reckon it's a yes.
100% yes.
Now you're getting synonymous with building rally cars, Ford Escorts especially.
Yeah, still got a few years left in rugby, hopefully. I'm fortunate enough to have had quite a successful career in the rugby, and when that comes to an end, hopefully I can come into the business and I can do after my career finishes.
So Scott, this is just a hobby, building Ford Escorts to rally?
No, this is something I'm really passionate about. I always had the love for it, and I want to get into after rugby.
So it's true on your Instagram profile where it says you're a petrol head. You're not just saying that.
No, I wasn't lying. No, it's something that I love, and something that I want to grow, and something that I'm serious about.
And not just rally cars, talk us through the green machine that I like to call it, the Mark 1 you built from scratch.
Yeah, so I have a 4-year-old son, well, he was 4 at the time, and we had a standard car that we had in stock, ready to turn into a rally car, and he's surrounded by rugby and rallying, so he loves the Escorts, and I decided to put it on the road for one summer for me and him to kind of spend some time together and go on a few drives. But he wanted me to pick him up from school every day, and it wasn't much fun for me to drive because it was a 3-gear 1.3 automatic car. So I said by the following summer that I'd build something nice, obviously with the business. Quite fortunate that I can do that and build something completely custom, one-off. So that's what we decided, and I like the Mark 1 for the road just because of its bubble arches and stuff. It looks nice, and we finished the car, and Seb absolutely loved it. We spent some good weekends driving about in it, sometimes take it into training in the summer. Yeah,
it is a beautiful car. I remember when you brought it into work one day and we made a short film. Lucky it wasn't raining.
No, that car didn't see the rain, to be honest. I wasn't going to bring it out in the rain. It was that nice. It was a stunning car, and I absolutely loved it.
car really turned heads. It was like having a mobile showroom for your business, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was the idea behind it. In the end, it escalated a little bit, the build and the cost of it. But we wanted to show, obviously, we do rally cars, but we wanted to show that we can, do completely one-off custom builds. And that was the idea behind the Mark 1, was to show what we could do on that side. And, I did it completely custom, a metallic paint and kind of went over the top a little bit with it. But I think the finished product was, especially when you see it in the flesh, it was special.
Unfortunately, all good things come to an end. For you guys to be able to start rallying, you really had no choice but to sell it, did you, to get this other car in?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not made of money. And like I said, the business decision was to sell the Mark 1 to be able to fund getting a new one. So that was why I had to sell the Mark 1, really. It's paid off. We've got a good car. We know the car, and it was the right business decision.
Do you do lay-bys?
Do I?
Do I what? I wanted to lay by a car and pay it off over maybe 3-4 years.
Like finance.
Is that an Australian thing?
They're asking me if I pulled into a lay-by or something.
Oh no, it must be an Australian thing. Do you do credit? Do you get first dibs on buybacks?
I always tell the customers, to be honest with you, if you ever think about selling the car, please let me know first. Just because, I fall in love with every single one of them, to be honest with you. But no, I think you never know with us. Sometimes we need them. Sometimes we have customers looking for them. Sometimes customers who are, because we have such a long waiting list, that sometimes we can offer it to them instead of having to wait for a brand new one sometimes.
Yeah, up to 4 months?
Yeah, well, it takes 4 months to build one car, but then if we've got, 10 cars on order, it's quite a bit of a waiting list. So
the cars aren't just for people, local people. These cars are shipped out around the world. Anyone in Australia want one, give me a call.
Yeah, we've built cars for customers in America, Belgium, France, Jersey, and then Ireland, Scotland, England. So, as well as obviously a lot of local people. So, yeah, it's built cars all around the world, really.
Tell us the story about breaking the news to Seb that you had to sell his car.
So I told him that I'd sold it. He didn't really understand at first, to be honest with you. And then I told him that when the day that the bloke was coming down to pick the car up, that it was going. And he went into the garage. He was hugging the front wing. He was hugging the front wing and kissing the front lamp. Tears coming down his cheeks, and I broke my heart. And I walked into the kitchen and I told my wife, I'm gonna have to ring the bloke and tell him, he's gonna have to turn around. Yes, deal's off. And I managed to make him a little bit happy. I showed him, the photos of the Mark II that we were gonna get instead of it, and kind of brought him round a little bit to it. So he was okay then. And then when he saw the car, he was happy. So
obviously, it takes a team to build these cars. Talk us through who you've got working for you.
So I've got 3 of the boys working for us, Steph, Gary and Barry, who I've mentioned already, who's my brother-in-law. But it's quite cool because we all went to school together. We're all from this area. We've known each other for years, and so that's quite cool that we have that kind of bond as friends already. But they're key parts to the team, and Steph, who does all the fabricating, and Gary, who does kind of a bit of both, the mechanical side and a little bit of fabricating as well. So Steph's probably the brains of the operation, to be honest with you, with his, he's what he can do with a welder, and
he's on fire.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and that's kind of why we started the business as well. We wanted to be the best. I'm used to performing at a high level, and the best is the only thing I settle for, to be honest with you. The same thing in the rugby. So, there's other companies out there who do, very nice cars as well. But I'm in competition every time, and there's nothing like a bit of competition. So
yeah, one of the boys coming up in an episode later on came from Ireland to pick up a car, and they were flabbergasted at the detail and how clean the car was.
Yeah, exactly. You know, back in the day, they were probably, you know, rough and ready rally cars. Kind of doesn't matter about what they look like, but it's completely changed now. You know, they're expensive cars, and as well as they want them to be good rally cars, about how they look, and everything is massively important as well. And like you've mentioned, the attention to detail that we do, we like to think is that extra kind of, you know, nice bit for the customer.
That's exactly what they said. They started up and drove it out there. They were that happy. They did 2 donuts and put it into the trailer.
That's our rule.
Straight off the shelf.
Our rule is you have to do donuts before you leave.
Yeah, check it out. So Scott, what's the end game?
One day, obviously, we'd like to have our own workshop, you know, with kind of everything start to finish there. So like a turnkey type things where we can do paint and everything, have a shop there. And I like my coffee, so maybe a cafe.
Coffee shop, yeah.
That would be the dream. Obviously, it costs a lot, but yeah, I think that would be the goal for me, and after rugby, be able to work in the business.
Because you're quite competitive, so what about a bit of racing?
Yeah, definitely. Not been able to do much, obviously, because of the rugby, so that's definitely something I'll be doing the first year that I'll be retiring, is straight out onto the lanes and do some rallying.
So we've got loads going on, and here's what's coming up on the next episode of Scott Williams Motorsport TV.